Hello world, welcome back to codingscientist.com. You are watching Hacking Raspberry Pi Special Series 0 to Hero series. Guys, in this lesson, I'm going to show you a tricky, or you may call it as a magic, right? Now, why do I call it as a magic? Because in Raspberry Pi, you have an option to connect to two different HDMI ports. That means two different monitors, but you also need a keyboard and a mouse using these USB ports, right? However, once you set up with your USB wired USB or wireless USB, whichever you may opt to use, end of the day you are going to clutter your desktop with multiple wires hanging here and there and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you a method how you can remotely access your Raspberry Pi without the need for any kind of USB, USB mouse or keyboard or monitor and kind of thing. So that is called VNC. Okay. So what does VNC stands for? You can go ahead and Google, guys. I mean, there are loads of information. So it's a simple application where you need to install the VNC on your Windows machine first. That's very important, right? Once you install VNC on your Windows machine, then I will show you what to do with the Raspberry Pi, because there is little bit of configuration which is required at the Raspberry Pi end, so that both Raspberry Pi and your Windows machine communicates with each other through the internet, right? Through virtual network. So that's how it works. So I'm going to show you how what we need to do first. Let's go to, say, open up a browser. All right, what's happening to the browser? All right, there you go. So once you have opened up the browser, on the Google, just type VNC Viewer Windows 10 or just Windows VNC Viewer Windows 10. Once you search, hit enter. The first link, right, you can see a realvnc.com. Okay, this is the link you need to go through. Open the link. Okay, you will find this window. Okay, here you can see multiple options. Don't go to product, not required. Don't go to download, it's not required. Here you can see options for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Raspberry Pi, iOS, Android and stuff like that. Many people, they get confused and they straight away go to Raspberry Pi, right? So do not do that, guys. It's a tricky thing. The Raspberry Pi stuff you need to actually download in your Raspberry Pi, not on Windows machine. But even on Raspberry Pi 4 with the OS what I showed you, the version of the OS which comes inbuilt, the VNC comes inbuilt with that operating system itself. So it's just a little bit of tricky to activate the VNC server in your Raspberry Pi. So for now, what you need to do, you need to go to Windows. This is for downloading VNC on your desktop, on your Windows machine. So keep a note. This is very, very important, guys. Do not get confused between Windows download versus Raspberry Pi download. Okay, this is what a common mistake many people do, but never mind. This is a learning phase. So go ahead and click VNC Viewer. Once you click, you get this happy little dialog box to save the exe file. So I have already saved it on my desktop, so I'm not going to save this again. So you can save this and then double click that VNC Viewer, same like the way what you did with Raspberry Pi Imager application. So go ahead and install this, double click on the exe, and it takes just few seconds. Okay, once you are done with that, what we need to do, I'm going to show you how the application looks like. Okay, once you downloaded and it's ready, I'm going to show you how it looks like. So what you need to do, you need to type VNC. There you go, you can see VNC Viewer. So this is the application actually once you double click and install on the exe file. Okay, so once you get this window, you don't need to sign in, or if you want, you can create an account. That's fine, it's absolutely free. I haven't created, I'm just using it blindly. So you you can just leave it as it is, and I will show you the next steps what to do and kind of thing once you are ready with the VNC server installed on your Windows desktop. So keep these things ready, and I'm going to come back to you in the next lesson, which is going to be very interesting. I will show you how to set it up in your Raspberry Pi. Until then, goodbye.